Attention gamers, and welcome back to another day, another piece of shit player I've run into while playing League of Legends, a series highlighting the insufferable toxic dick lint trash good for nothing losers that innocent players run into every day while trying to climb in this game. Last week in the pilot episode we started off strong by looking at a support Mel, short for melanoma, aka she was a cancer, as she refused to let her ADC play the game because she didn't like his off-meta pick, berating everyone in chat and actively trying to troll so that she could teach the rest of us a lesson. This week we have a different example of how someone can single-handedly lose a game while being more annoying than a Hasanabi viewer trying to pick a fight with someone who could care less. So sit back, buckle up, and enjoy the unfortunate relatability of this Viego's behavior as he absolutely ruins my rank game. Alright, so laying out a little prologue to pending shitfest, I'd like the record to reflect that this perpetual loser managed to get first blood against Thomas the Tank Engine slave owner, so it actually was a great start to this story for him. I was assuming the position as what Redditors would call the reportable troll who plays off meta picks, aka Fiddlesticks bot with Kennen support, which is the best bot lane comp in the game. Once Candace Owens brings it up, the world will see it too, and I think it boils down to this. When we fail miserably to gank that sexy ass arcane character and then a giant asexual beetle joins the party, I can silence that fool, tell him a scary story, and then suck off so many people at once you'd think I have experience in the adult films industry. Then while I'm saying a rosary in the shrubs, the bad guys are all low enough for one of them to die, and thus my CC and Riley Reid W made the trade favorable for the good guys. That said, this skin may be full of colors, pink and purple pinwheels, hints of orange neon glowing clown attire, but all I could see in this clip was my giant blue fucking balls. Let's go back up north for a little bit more character building. You can see the ruined simp is still bullying that autistic train enthusiast, which seems totally fine, but I promise even the best of early games can turn into a mental boom for no reason. The first crack happened when Megamind came floor porting in to put him in a crystal prism before proceeding to throw the concept of magic at him. He kites back to the rift pubes, but it's not enough to keep him alive. Meanwhile bot, I'm doing my best impersonation of someone who has no clue how to combo as Fiddle, which gets my little midget of static electricity killed while also maintaining the level of blue hue in my ball sack. Anyways, there's rumors of an albino Charizard that spawned in River Any. Everyone has their Pokemon Go apps out and I don't have my alt, so you may be like, what can you bring to this ordeal? And to that I raise my pinwheel and Fetty Wap the literal shit out of 3 of them before positioning for a proper suck. This leaves just that bald Coachella pervert left, so I hit one more siphon and with it we get easy Dragon Prio. Back up top and you are probably like, Rav, this looks like a completely normal game, what sort of clickbait bullshit is this? And to that I promise this is not a 2019 Bunny Foo Foo Professor Akali collab video, it's just one that takes time to get there. As you can see, Virgin the ruined simp get his back interrupted only to walk back to tower and greedily overstay more than your overly judgmental relatives on Thanksgiving when you just want to go to your room and smoke a bowl, as he plays this just about as poor as an OnlyFans model with saggy tits that no one wants to see. JK Sophie Rain somehow prints stacks with her dessert menu mukbang looking physique, but he is still only at 2 deaths at this point, neither of which too tilting. Meanwhile backbot, we are still more chipper than a chipmunk deep-throating some walnuts, as you can see the uncoordinated synergy that me and this toastered bathtub of a support have as he summons the circle storm and I suck off Mel. She ends up doing this bullshit thing where she runs away trying to survive, but I kill her just in time to see Samira be all dramatic throwing shrapnel everywhere, so I waited out, throw a fake fiddle in the shrubs, scare her shitless, suck her off like she's a go-gurt in 2007, and then hit a blind Fetty Wap for the easy 2-for-0 trade. Unfortunately Viego is no longer riding the high from his first blood. Sure, he still has 20 CS over that German looking cow, but 20 CS does nothing if you have 20 total brain cells, as he decides trying to dive. Here is the play. Then right after that absolute fail fest, he breaks his silence in chat by announcing that this is GG because we got outscaled. Mind you, it's 15 minutes into the game. I'm popping off like a confetti machine on New Year's while taking towers and slapping arcane characters like they are cow titties on milking day. He continues bitching like a cat in heat, but I'm going to be 100% honest, I did not see a single thing he typed in live time because you could say I was slightly busy myself. At this point he holds up on his promise to let us deal with the problem he's created by heading bot to take on some of the other characters on the rift. Only problem is he has the map awareness of a burned hot pocket, so he has to run until our jungler comes in trying to bail him out, which results in him dying to no one's surprise. Of course a surrender vote comes out, but if I'm being honest, I'm in the zone, I'm fed and just focused on carrying. The world tells me to mute chat in every video I post, and if I would have done that I definitely wouldn't have seen him bitching, but I was so focused I didn't see it anyways. He starts demanding that I go match Ornn because he's all armor, but I was worried about shutting down the giga-fed mid laner who had 3 levels on everyone, and even though I didn't see this message at the time, if I did I probably would have seen 2 people on my team matching the Ornn up there themselves and stayed here myself. Our Turbo Virgin though continues to prove that Ornn isn't the problem. He is, as he continues to lose a 1v1 against every single player on the enemy team. His FF votes are now getting closer to a quitter's quorum because of his dipshit arguments in chat that I still have been too focused to see. All I know is at one point we did run into that train conductor who had 5 levels on my support, and based off of how this went, let's just say I wouldn't be matching this guy solo even if I did see our backseat feeding coach's comments demanding that it's my responsibility to clean up his mess. So at this point I'm thinking, damn, this top is fed and this is going to be a tough game, but little did I know this Viego doesn't like tough games, as he prefers impossible games, as he now decides he will actively AFK and do nothing for the rest of the game to evade Riot's fucking embarrassingly bad AFK detection systems while making this a legit 4v5. Me and my little anal spark plug were continuing to set up picks on the map, but the problem we were running into is it felt like their team rotated while I was waiting for ours to do the same, and upon further inspection that's when I noticed our Viego running circles around nothing, so without having the context of his pussy ass whining in chat all game, I opened my mouth and made my first contribution in my real voice.
Viego, I can't tell if you are playing or not. I'd like for you to fight by my side though.
I asked you 50 times to match the Ornn and you didn't listen!
I then realized that he's a broken condom baby, so I listened to the advice of my commenters and immediately muted. But then I remembered I'm filming this series on fuck lords that ruin this game, so I enabled it again for the sake of the documentary while still trying my ass off to find the right plays that can hopefully save this game for us. Their rise was more fed than the winner of a hot dog eating contest, and since a fed solo lane must be at least 4 levels ahead of bot lane for the scriptures of Summoner's Rift to be true, we are struggling all while. Obviously being down a man who already fed the enemy team means eventually we will lose in a round of Bloons tower defense, to the point where I ask if Viego wants to comment anything on the public record, to which he shifts the blame entirely onto me. And for the sake of being fair, after seeing this I will admit that it was a misplay on my part to not leave my lane and bail him out earlier, but this series isn't about misplays and poor decision making of my hard stuck silver ass, it's about players who do this because things didn't go their way. Anyways, that's the story about how a top lane who got solo diff decided to make a game that would have been tough to win because of how much he fed, into a game that was impossible because he flat out refused to keep playing. And that concludes episode 2 of Another Day Another Piece of Shit Who Plays League of Legends. Subscribe and give a thumbs up for the relatability. Rav out.